Are you still at work, Luther? I'll just text you what I need to tell you. It's about my business trip to Okinawa that I was supposed to come home from today. My flight was delayed because of the typhoon, so I'm going to be staying here for 1 more month. Also, Ellen's going to be coming home from school early because of the typhoon. She's going to be home earlier than usual, so take care of her, okay? Can you talk right now, Mrs. Banks?
Oh, hi, Alexa.
Did the typhoon hit there as well?
Yup. It looks like the real storm is yet to begin. But already the weather is getting rough. That reminds me. You were supposed to come home from your business trip to Okinawa today, right? How is it over there?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I can't come home today since my flight's been delayed because of the typhoon.
Oh, the weather's still bad over there?
The typhoon's already passed, but the flight I was supposed to be on was delayed. I probably won't be able to get home by tonight, so I'm going to stay here for 1 more day.
I see. Take care then.
There's one more thing I want to talk to you about. You can see our house from the apartment you live in, right?
What? Well, yes, I can.
Can you see if the light in our house is on or not?
Sure thing, I guess. Your house is right across the street and I can see it from my veranda.
To tell you the truth, I can't contact my husband, even though he's supposed to be working remotely today.
Considering the weather today, he's probably at home if he's a remote worker, right?
It's fine if that's the case, but Ellen's elementary school is making the kids go home early today because of the typhoon. I told him about this, but he wouldn't reply. I'm worried about Ellen, so I would appreciate it if you could check in on her as well.
So I should just check in on the house, right?
Yep, thanks. Mrs. Banks? How is the house?
Alexa, it's terrible! I found Ellen outside on her own in the middle of the typhoon.
What?
I take a look at your house from my veranda just like you told me to, which is when I saw Ellen curled up in front of your front door. I rushed and brought her into my house and made her take a bath. Luckily, she had no injuries, but she's just a 9-year-old girl. This is terrible.
Why was she there? Was my husband Luther not inside the house?
He probably wasn't. When I saw Ellen, my first thought was to bring her into your house and give her a bath. But when I tried to open the front door, it wouldn't open. I asked Ellen about it, and she said she forgot her keys in the house that morning. So I then brought her into my house. I gave her some hot milk when she got out of the bath, and she was probably so relieved that she's now sound asleep.
So that's what happened.
I was thinking about asking Ellen what exactly happened, but I thought that she needs to rest first, so she hasn't told me anything yet.
Not knowing what happened makes me really anxious, but thanks for saving Ellen. If you don't mind, could you take care of Ellen until I get home?
Of course. The rain is just getting stronger and stronger, so there's no way we can leave the house right now.
Thanks, I'm counting on you.
Still, though, I wonder where Luther went off to. Me and my husband tried contacting him from both our smartphones, but he wouldn't reply. I gave him a brief explanation of what happened and told him that Ellen was safe with me, but my texts remain unread. But his car was gone, so it's likely that he went off somewhere.
Understood. Thanks for the information. Can you tell me if you find out anything important? I know you have Ellen to take care of as well, so you don't need to exert yourself too much.
It's fine. Me and my husband will take turns looking after her.
Sorry for everything. I wouldn't know what to do without you.
Oh, hi, Alexa. You were texting me? I was so focused on my work, so I didn't notice until it was late at night now. Sorry, remote work is so scary because there's no one to tell you to take a break at times like this. I also had a text from your mom. Oh, I see, you couldn't come home because your flight was cancelled. Because of the typhoon, right? And Ellen is at your mother's apartment as well. Got it. Well then, I think I'll go to bed now. Good night.
Good morning, Mom. How are things over there?
Alexa, I was just thinking about contacting you. I took a look at your house from my veranda, and I saw your husband coming home in his car. Did Luther have a sister or something?
Nope, he only has one brother. Did something happen?
You're probably going to be very surprised at this, but I'm sorry. I saw him going to your house with a young woman.
Huh? Are you sure that's what you saw?
Sorry, I know this is all so sudden.
What? There's no reason for you to be sorry. You did nothing wrong, Mother. Anyways, I need to get home as soon as possible because I can't do anything from here. I'm about to board the airplane. I can come home as soon as I turn in some papers involving my business trip to my office. I'll go directly to your house. I'll probably be there a bit past noon.
I understand. But still, I'm glad today was a day off. We're still taking care of Ellen, all right?
Yep. Thanks. Luther, it looks like you were so focused on your work that you didn't notice my text until late at night yesterday. But didn't you notice that you had locked Ellen out?
What? Oh, yeah, sorry about that, Alexa. I'll express my sorry and gratitude to your mother later. Anyways, though, you're working now, right? You said you were gonna go to the office after your plane arrives, right? Must be tough having to work on a weekend.
Oh, I didn't say that I was going to work at the office.
What?
There are employees that go to work on weekends, but today's actually a day off for me, and I just had to go to the office to take care of something because my plane was delayed yesterday. I couldn't bring home important papers involving a business deal, you know? I just made a quick pit stop at the office to store the papers.
What? Does that mean that... Where are you right now, Alexa?
I don't know. Where do you think I am?
I have no idea. Why didn't you tell me?
Well, I guess there's no use hiding anything from you now that I'm already here.
What?
You're currently in her bedroom, right?
What?
Why don't you and the woman you're with come down to the living room?
What?
Of course, I'd appreciate it if you two put your clothes on.
Hey, hold on. Alexa? What do you mean exactly by that?
Are you actually pretending you don't know what I'm talking about? I know all of it now, you asshole.
Damn it. Shit! All of you just had to come. You didn't have to kick me out like that, you know?
I don't think that's what an asshole says after doing an asshole thing in a house that I own.
Why'd you have to call my mother as well, though? I was told not to come home to my parents' house because of that.
It's probably because your mother loves her only grandchild, Ellen, so much. And it's only been a few years since she divorced your father for cheating, right? To think that her own son would do the same thing. What you did was probably like rubbing salt in a wound that was yet to fully heal.
No wonder she was furious with you.
Damn it.
Oh, that reminds me. I also told the husband of the woman you were with about the relationship you two were having.
You what?
They're also talking about divorce.
Hold on a minute. You knew who my girlfriend was, but you still...
Of course I did. You would think that it's obvious that getting caught with the wife of the CEO of the company you work at is a serious deal, but you still did it seems.
Shit.
You're probably going to go through a lot starting now, right?
Nah, don't do it.
I wonder if they'll even let you stay in the company. You thought that no one would find out you were skipping work and making out with your girlfriend instead, since you work remotely, right? It seems that you two went to a love hotel in the middle of a working day even.
How should I have guessed that I might have been caught even when I work remotely?
Apparently, it's not that hard to check if you're actually doing work, or not by looking at computer logs and at when you logged in and logged off. It's amazing how much technology has advanced, don't you think?
Who cares about how much technology has advanced?
Well, we're done here, right?
What?
I booked an appointment at a lawyer's office tomorrow. I need to prepare for it.
A lawyer?
What are you surprised at? I told you about it the day I got proof that you were cheating on me, right? That I would hire a lawyer to make you pay an alimony, and also pay for Ellen's child support.
I don't have that much money. I'm even about to be fired from my job. Why are you getting so mad even? It's just one time I cheated on you. All you have to do is be a bit patient so we can work things out without having to divorce. I'm not paying you a cent. How'd you find out? I thought that no one would find me here.
Oh, you received the content certified letter, did you? I've already gotten hands-on information saying that you ran to your father's house.
What?
You see, your father deeply regrets that he cheated on your mother.
Huh?
You were wrong if you thought that your father, who had done the same thing as you in the past, would side with you.
What?
Basically means that your father is on my side.
Huh? What did you say?
Anyways, apparently you turned in your letter of resignation to your company.
So what if I did?
If that's the case, it seems your father's going to make you work at the construction company he's been working for ever since he and your mother got divorced.
Huh?
I only heard about it after your mother told me, but it was called the Iwanami Group, right?
The Iwanami Group?
Apparently they're famous for reforming social degenerates like you.
Any social degenerate can become an upstanding human.
Oh, so you knew their model.
So it wasn't just me imagining things when I thought that my father seemed different to who he was a few years ago?
Well then, good luck becoming an upstanding human.
Wait,
I won't wait.
I don't wanna!
Goodbye.
No!
Luther's father pretended to sympathize with Luther when he fled to him, but he actually told me about it immediately. Thanks to the work of my father-in-law, who is nothing like he was a few years ago and is now basically a saint, the Iwanami Group arrived 1 hour after me and Luther's final conversation. Luther was taken away in a black van screaming, "You lied to me!" It seemed that the CEO's wife was also sent to the Iwanami Group through a different acquaintance of hers. Thanks to them, I received the alimony asked for from both Luther and the CEO's wife. and I also received child support for Ellen every month. After the divorce, it was decided that I would live with my parents. Ellen, who loves her grandparents, was overjoyed when I told her about it. I plan on overlooking the growth of this beautiful child as her role model, and live from now on as an upstanding human being.
Hey, Deb, you have some real nerve. Do you know that? I mean, really, just what kind of game are you trying to play here? I want to know why you're hanging out with my fiance so much. Just what are you getting at? Wait, what? What is all this about? Who even are you and how did you get my number? Wait a second, I recognize the name now. Isn't this Lindsay? We used to work together, right? I remember now, I used to be your supervisor. That's right. I'm glad you deem me worthy enough to remember. But what I want to know is just what do you think you're doing hanging around with my boyfriend all the time? Your boyfriend? I don't even know who that is. Oh, don't you play dumb with me. You're not fooling anyone at all, you know. Just come out and admit it. You've been stalking my boyfriend for a long time now, and I know it. You think that I'm stalking someone? I literally don't even know the person who I would be stalking. This is just ridiculous. What's ridiculous is the fact that you're almost 50 years old now, right? So what I want to know is why an old hag like you is hanging around with a young man in his 20s. Don't you see how wrong that is for you to do that? Look, Lindsay, I can promise you that I'm not stalking anyone at all, okay? You're lying to me and I know it. I've seen you do it myself so many times. I know that you're stalking my boyfriend, and it is seriously starting to piss me off, so just quit it. I still literally don't even know who you're talking about right now. I talk to and hang out with a lot of different people, so it's possible that your boyfriend is one of those people, but you still haven't even told me who that is. Tall guy, always wears a suit, broad shoulders. Does that ring enough bells for you? I work in an office where everyone wears suits, so no, if that's all you have to describe this person, then I still have no clue. Why don't you just tell me this person's name so we can stop playing this text version of Guess Who? You really think that I'm going to use my boyfriend's name in a conversation with his stalker? I wouldn't dream of it. Well, that's your choice, I suppose. But I just really think that this is the least effective way to go about doing this. I don't remember asking your opinion on that. Just make sure that you keep away from my boyfriend. Do you understand me? I literally don't understand you because first of all, I'm not stalking anyone, and second of all, I'm married. I literally have a husband and a son. I don't believe this. You're even worse than I thought. You mean to tell me that you have a loving family at home and you choose to go after my poor boyfriend? Although, I bet if I had to guess, my boyfriend would probably have to be around the same age as your son. Which makes all of this even worse. You're disgusting trying to go after someone your son's age. You're an old, washed-up cow and you need to learn to stick to your own age bracket. Got it? I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell you that there is no stalking going on before you believe me. Shut up! I am sick and tired of having this conversation. Just make sure that you never, ever go near my boyfriend. Ever again. Oh, David, I'm home.
Welcome back, Mom. I really missed you. I can't believe your work sent you on an overseas business trip for 6 whole months.
Thank you, son. It really is nice to be back. I can't believe that I was gone for so long either. You know, I was actually supposed to arrive yesterday, but the weather was just awful. And then there were technical problems with my plane, and it was just a disaster.
Well, I'm just glad that you're back today. After all, I'm getting married tomorrow, and I was worried that you weren't gonna make it when you told me you were pushing your arrival back.
I really am sorry for worrying you. I was pretty worried about missing it myself. More than that, that, though, I feel so bad that I haven't been able to meet your fiancé once. I know that you both started dating a while before I left, but we were always so busy, and then I left for my trip.
Well, don't worry. You two will have plenty of time to get to know each other from here on out, and you'll finally get to meet her at the wedding. I've told her all about you, so I think you should just rest up and get ready for tomorrow.
That's very sweet of you, David. And yes, I really should go get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for the big day.
Have a nice night, Mom.
You too, sweetie. I'm so proud of you. Okay, now you've really gone too far, Deb. Just what the heck do you think you're doing at my wedding right now, huh? I thought I told you to stay away from my boyfriend, so why are you here on my big day? Please don't tell me that the boyfriend you were telling me to stay away from back then is the same man that you're marrying now. Of course it is. David's my fiancé, and by the end of the day, he'll be my husband. But before that can happen, I needed to make sure that you left so you didn't ruin the whole thing. I know that you were up to something. And is that really your excuse for what you did to me? The moment you saw my face, you grabbed me by the collar and dragged me out of the venue and threw me on the lawn. Then, when I tried to get back in, you told the staff to make sure that I didn't step a foot inside. Just what are you trying to pull with that, huh? What do you mean, what am I planning? My plan is to keep an old cradle robber like you out of my wedding so that I can marry my fiancé in peace. Be that as it may, I'm only here to watch my son get married. Well, you must have gotten the wrong place, because the only wedding happening here today is ours. That's exactly what I mean. This is the wedding that I'm trying to attend. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have no idea what you're saying. Maybe you're already getting Alzheimer's, you old hag. Let me spell this out for you then. David is my son. I am David's mother. Get it now? Wait, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's make this even simpler. My last name is Fairbanks, right? David's last name is Fairbanks. Are you starting to put it together now? I don't know if you just never picked up on that, or just didn't bother to even ask to see a picture of your own fiancé's mother. And I'm also sorry that as his mother, I didn't make more of an effort to meet you. You're not making any sense at all right now, Deb. I mean, just how can David be your son? I guess the ages would make sense for you to be his mom, but just because you have the same last name doesn't mean you two are related. Besides, I remember that in the office you used to go by Baker. Right. Well, that was my maiden name. Your maiden name? Are you kidding me? I guess I'll explain all this to you too. When I first started working for the company where you later joined, I was unmarried, and all the paperwork there had me under my maiden name. Apparently, it would have been a lot of paperwork and a big hassle to edit everything in the system, so I just told my boss to not worry about it and keep using my maiden name for simplicity's sake. I think that if you ask around where you work for other women who started single and got married on the job, you'll see that this isn't uncommon. No, that can't be right. You're just making up excuses and trying to confuse me, aren't you? Do you really think that I'm going to be fooled by some perverted grandma like you so easily? Sounds to me like you just don't want to admit that I'm really David's mother. Of course I don't want to admit that because it's simply not true. David told me that his mom manages her own company that deals with overseas trade. Basically, she's the total opposite of the sad, pathetic stalker that you are. She's actually done something with her life and owns her own company. She even went on a business trip for 6 months in another country. I doubt you've ever done anything like that in your life. And today is going to be the first day that I meet her. Well, you were mostly correct about everything that you just said. You mean like the part about you being a pathetic stalker? I'm well aware. Anyways, why don't you go ahead and tell David that his mother has gone home? Wait, what do you mean? Just tell him that you and I had a chance to meet and that I went home afterwards. I can't believe you're still trying to peddle this lie to me.
Hey, Mom, where are you? I've been waiting around since early this morning to see you. I really want you to come and meet Lindsay before everything starts.
Oh, we actually just met, dear. Didn't you hear from Lindsay?
What do you mean, so you're here already?
Well, about 20 minutes ago, I introduced myself, and she started screaming about how I was stalking you. Then she threw me out of the venue and prevented me from going back in. Just mention her old boss, Miss Baker. I'm sure she'll get the message.
Lindsay said that you were stalking me. I don't get it.
She did, and now I'm on my way to the emergency room.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, when she threw me out of your wedding, I tripped down some stairs and fell on my knee. It's starting to swell up a bit, so I think I need to get it checked out.
But I don't get it. Besides, didn't you come with Dad? Where is he?
Your dad was busy parking the car, and then apparently he forgot something and had to go back to the parking lot. It was all while he was away that this happened. But he's with me now and taking me to the hospital. Anyways, if you wouldn't mind telling Lindsay that I'm actually your mother, I think it would save us all a lot of time.
Right, got it.
This can't be happening. I don't believe it. You really were his mother this whole time. Why didn't you tell me before I did what I did? But I did tell you. I explained to you in great detail, actually. But you should have done more to make me understand. Well, I wanted to tell you in person, but before I could get a word out, you threw me down the steps. After that, I had no choice but to type it all out for you. Except you decided to ignore all of that and continue to treat me like a stalker. But that's only because I really did think you were lying. I mean, I thought that you were just some jealous old lady who quit because she knew she couldn't compete with me. But I had no idea that you left to start your own business and travel all over the world. Well, you basically took the words from my mouth. I only left that old job to start my own business. Me quitting didn't have anything to do with you, though. It didn't, at all? Although I do remember you quite clearly from those days, and it doesn't seem like you've changed one bit. Well, please come back to the wedding. It's okay now that I know you're really David's mom. I believe you now. I'm afraid I couldn't do that if I wanted to. I'm at the hospital right now because of what you did to my knee. So, you won't come back? David, please, you have to reconsider. I really am so sorry. I didn't do it to be mean. I just made a little mistake.
I just want to ask one thing, Lindsay. When you saw me walk up to you with my mom, did you really think that I was just having a casual chat with a woman who was stalking me? It's not like I haven't shown you any picture of my mom. Did you really just not realize that her and my so-called stalker were the same person?
I just don't remember, that's all.
You've got to be kidding me.
I really didn't know they were the same person.
Even if you didn't, you had to before you even bothered checking who my mom really was. You didn't even try to use your words or act like a responsible adult. And that's why I knew that I just couldn't marry you.
Please, we can still make this work.
Maybe you can, but I can't. I never want to hear from you again.
When I got to the hospital on the day of what was supposed to be my son's wedding, I was grateful that my doctor said my knee wasn't seriously injured. Apparently, Lindsay somehow heard that the injuries were quite light and tried to use that to get David to take her back. She told him that I was going to make a full recovery, and that in the end there was no permanent damage, so there was no point in canceling the marriage. In response, David told her that he was going to send her my hospital bills, as well as the cancellation fees for all their wedding plans. When she heard just how much that was going to be in total, she knew she couldn't pay it and begged even harder to put this all behind them. Of course, my son just ignored her, but Lindsay didn't give up and continued to follow David around, begging him to take her back. Finally, David felt like he had no choice but to go to the court and ask for a restraining order from his crazy stalker.